Hello, Mr. Skullsnake here. You're CobrasBloonsMod, whatever, one's fine but by you. And today, I'm here to talk about the BloonsMod. A small and quick introduction to it, and talking about the newly revamped Dart Monkey. So, let's get right into it. So, if you don't know what the first version of the BloonsMod was like, Gorbeck has a video on it, and it was, well, it was a bit lackluster. I don't know how to make that happen. Like, remember, I'm an amateur at modding this engine.
There it goes!
Okay, a bit of understatement. It was very, very bad. But this version, the most up-to-date version that I'm still working on, is much better and it fixes most of the problems. There's still a few things that need to be touched up. But yeah, the basic goal of this mod is to spawn in as one of the 7 classes, either by yourself or with friends. The classes are the Dart Monkey, Boomerang Monkey, Glue Gunner / Glue Monkey. This monkey is new to the mod for version 2. Sniper Monkey, Mortar Monkey, Super Monkey, and finally the Ninja Monkey. There may be more monkeys in the future. Once you spawn in as your class, you go around the map, you find the balloon machine, start the rounds up, and beat the rounds one by one until you beat the final round. The final round will usually have a band on it. So, the balloon machine, now I'm meaning of the default one, because in the future there may be custom or altered ones. But the normal balloon machine has 85 rounds. And between each round, there's certain things that can happen, such as banana farms. Farms will produce money in between rounds. Now it's at the end of the rounds, if a certain CVAR, this one, is enabled, you will get an end of round bonus. That is 100 monkey money at the end of each round. But yeah, a big change that I made to the mod from V1 to V2 is that there's a CVAR that allows players to not worry about picking up balloon debris. With this CVAR, it is automatically set like this to make it that when you pop a balloon, it automatically gives you the monkey money. You could set it to the opposite value to make it feel like V1, where you had to manually pick up all the money. Now, the next thing, the shop is being reworked to be much better. It's a secondary weapon you have. It allows you to see what you can purchase in that. Main fire is to purchase something, alt fire is to cycle through it. Now, reload is to sell, and zoom is to toss money to other players. Yes, so yeah, that answers the question of I have so much money and I can't use it, how do I hand it to my teammates? Well, you can do that now and that's good. But yeah, each monkey's got something that's unique to them, and we'll be getting into them one by one. But of course, we will start on the Dart Monkey. If there's any other questions about the mod, feel free to ask in the comments. Or ask me on Discord. So, the first class out of 7 current classes in the BloonsMod is the Dart Monkey. If you have a look at this image right here, you can see some base stats such as health, movement speed, bonus stuff that's like extra items or talents, and my speculated difficulty to play the class. Now, when I mean of difficulty, I mean of like how easy it is to grasp the concept of the class and how easy it is to learn them. Not in a case of like how hard it is to survive. But yeah, here's the basic stats in that. Actually, a few basic stats, the upsides and the downsides of the Dart Monkey. So here I have made him the monkey with the cheapest upgrades and can place banana farms. No other monkey can do that so far. If I gave the banana farms to the other monkeys, who would play the dart monkey then? But of course, the dart monkey has a bit of a universal lead weakness. As the thing is, in this mod, well, unlike version 1, you can actually damage lead balloons with non-lead popping damage types. It just takes a lot more hits. This is to prevent soft locks from happening, because the new balloon machine accounts for every balloon dying. And the last thing you want is to be soft locked on a lead balloon as a dart monkey. But yeah, other monkeys do outclass the dart monkey later in the game, but you have an amazing start off, because you can get all your tier 1s for free. Alright, now I've gone over the base dart monkey, let's go and talk about his upgrades. So normally the dart monkey fires at a rate of 1 dart every 20 frames. 20 in-game ticks. But your upgrades will help you with that. So yeah, this does say dart monkey crossbars, because all the tier 1s and tier 2s can be bought as crossbars. Go one path and take a set of crossbars with you. So you could go top path, that can increase your pierce. So for default dart monkey, you only can pop 1 balloon per dart. The tier 1 top path can get you +1 pierce. Tier 2 gives you +1 pierce. Most of this stuff you can kind of read. But if you're going top path and get to 200 or top 2, you can pop a total of 3 balloons per shot. In which, for its price, I think it's pretty good. The middle path makes you fire faster, and yes, it says 10% plus 10% firing speed. Now at first it's like, oh, it's only removing, it's like removing a tenth. Yeah, it's not much, but for the layer top path and bottom paths, these are actually pretty good, because it's a general 10%. But yeah, with the mid 2 upgrade, middle path tier 2 upgrade, you'll overall have a 20% increased firing speed, in which, in theory, is pretty good. A little bit more expensive than the top half of crossbars, but it helps out. Now the bottom half is, well, it's not too interesting. It says plus projectile distance. If you couldn't assume what that was, that means the projectiles you throw have an extended lifetime before they're affected by gravity. Yes, a lot of projectiles in this mod are affected by gravity now. The only things that are not affected by gravity are boomerang monkey rings, energy/laser attacks, lightning, explosions, ninja monkey flash bombs, seeking shuriken, and sniper bullets. There's quite a few things that are not affected by gravity, but a lot of projectiles are. So if something's a dart, you can assume it's going to be affected by gravity. But yeah, these are the crossbars, and at first they don't seem that impressive, but they really do help out later on. Now we've discussed the tier 1s and tier 2s / crossbars. Let's get on to the top bar. At first you might go and think, wait a minute, the tier 3 Spiker Bolt has infinite pierce? That's busted. If it's a slow moving projectile, yes, that's busted. But the Spiker Bolt's a really fast moving projectile with a rather reasonable sized hitbox. A long flight distance before being affected by gravity, and when these spike balls hit a wall, the momentum stops and they become affected by gravity and linger on the ground for a bit. This linger can pop a total of 20 balloons. Oh yeah, Alongside the spike balls, you have a slower firing speed. Your firing speed gets nerfed by 230%, but it's a fair trade for the amount of popping power you get. Now the Juggernauts, top 4 are upgraded. So the 2-layer neutral damage, that means your total damage per shot pops 2 layers. So every time it hits a balloon, it pops 2 layers, except for mod class. But it's also neutral damage. What does that mean? It means it pops leads. Now that's a big yippee for Dart Monkey players. There are 3 bounces now to this Juggernaut, which is pretty good. That means the spike balls can pop even more balloons. And Juggernaut Spike Ball lasts for longer on the ground. Personally, pretty good upgrade for its price. Now finally, we get to the last upgrade in the top half, Ultra Juggernaut. So for the initial Spike Ball, you do 7 layers of damage to the balloon that you hit with the big Spike Ball. So it's 7 layers. That can one-shot a zebra balloon. And once it hits the balloon, or targeting that, it splits into 6 spike balls. But also has a plus 80 base damage. All smaller spike balls are the same as Juggernaut. So yeah, it's pretty good. You've got a lot of chaotic power behind it. And it's only for 12,470 monkey money. And I would say I would definitely use it. And now, the middle half. Its upgrades are more expensive than the top half, but the tier 3 is cheaper. Triple dots. You fire 2 extra projectiles. You pretty much throw 3 dots in a 3-way like fashion. One a little bit to the left, one straight ahead, and one a little bit to the right. You also throw the dots at a good rate, so that's actually really good. Now if you don't have crosspaths, you pop a total of 3 balloons per shot, but with other crosspaths, this one single upgrade is pretty good for fending off with a bunch of balloons. Super Monkey Fan Club. So it's the same as the triple dots upgrade, aka middle path of tier 3, but you have an ability now. Because now here, the ability is a little bit different from what it was in Bloons, was out of this games. In terms of how it would be like, you would turn all nearby, to a bunch of nearby Dart Monkeys into Super Monkeys. Here, when you activate it, you gain the fire rate of a Super Monkey, but you fire 1 dot at a time. You still keep all your like crosspath benefits on it, but also you summon 4 Dart Monkey super fans. They also fire as fast as you do, and the best part about it, they can distract balloons for you. But of course, the amount of time you have as a temporary Super Monkey and your Super Monkey fans, they only have a limited lifetime. It's an expensive upgrade, but you can distract balloons with it. Now finally, the last monkey in the middle path, the last Dart Monkey upgrade in the middle path, the Plasma Fan Club. Now all it really does is it upgrades the ability by a large mile, making the Fan Club do plasma damage. So plasma damage is energy damage type that does 2 layers of damage on each hit. But also the plasma has +2 pierce, so you could pop a total of 6 balloons per shot, which I think that's pretty good. Yeah, the cost is a bit outrageous, but I'm still trying to manage some of the prices, because if you remember what I said earlier, the prices may change. The monkey fans also do plasma damage, but the one downside of this upgrade is that the Plasma Fan Club ability cannot damage purple balloons. Now you might go and ask, so you made leads be poppable by sharp damage, but not purples? Well, there's not much monkeys that do your magic slash energy damage types. And even anyway, usually, and at the moment, the monkeys that have the plasma damage type have another tool that can counter that specific balloon, so they're not completely defenseless. Now we go on to the bottom path, and probably the best one in my opinion for the dart monkey. Now bottom path 3, okay, bottom path tier 3, crossbow. So you get +3 pierce, which is pretty good. That is good. You can pop a total of 4 balloons per shot. Of course you have a 120% firing speed nerf. You do 2 layer sharp damage each per shot, which is pretty good. The main caveat is that firing speed thing, but it's not as much of a downside as Spike-a-Pod has. Bottom path tier 4, sharpshooter. You have a 50% faster firing speed, so that 120% firing speed gets cut to 70%. So you fire 70% slower than a normal dart monkey, but you do way more. But you also have a natural 10% crit shot chance. What does crit shot do? Pretty much it just does extra damage. That's all. And now the tier 5 bottom path dart monkey, the crossbow master. 20% faster firing speed. Every shot does 7 layers of neutral damage, and you have a 25% crit shot chance. This upgrade is really good, and the crits, they shred through mob class balloons. But yeah, the thing is, this is great. You fire a little bit slower than a normal dart monkey, but you can pretty much negate that by getting mill crossfires. Alright. Now, as I've gone through those, there's another thing I want to talk about. The banana farms. Fuck yeah, we're gonna break the economy! So far, the only monkey you can place banana farms is the dart monkey. And the whole premise of how they work is, you buy the banana farm and you can place it down. And yes, the banana farms are a voxel, and if you hit the banana farm, they start to spin. And now if the banana farm spinning is a thing that makes you feel uncomfortable, get used to it. It is here to stay. It is an indicator that you've accidentally shot your own banana farm and you need to place it back down. But also other players can technically pick up the banana farms and reposition it themselves, which is like alright. But yeah, if I were to suggest of where to place your banana farms and that, put it somewhere where you will usually not fire or that. But also don't put them on like a boundary of the map, because if some money goes out of bounds, you're not getting that money. You're basically just decreasing your gains. There's only top path and middle path. Bottom path is still in conceptualizing phase. I may add the bottom path in another update, because at the moment I want to try and balance these two banana farms. If you would ask me which path is the best, and what does each path specialize in, I'll give you a little bit of a quick rundown. So the top path has the most, it can pop the most balloons in a single shot, but it's overall just straight destructive power. It's not the best mod popper, but it pops like everything else. The middle path, you can summon Super Monkey Fans to distract balloons but also act as additional firepower. When you activate this ability, you're increasing your own damage and pierce by a small margin, which is useful, but of course the main caveat of having to wait for the ability to get back up is a little annoying. And the bomb path, I personally think this one is the best at popping mod class balloons in all three paths. You've got pierce, you've got damage, because you fire slower than the middle path, but you've got damage. Now if I were to say, hey, if the Spike-a-Pod or the Crossbow Master is better, I would take the Crossbow Master. The Spike-a-Pod, yeah, it can absolutely hog pops with the amount of damage you can do, especially with the lingering spike balls when you get Ultra Juggernaut. but the Crossbow Master's crit thing allows him to shred through mob class balloons. And also natural lead damage. Juggernaut also has that. But of course, the top half, like, covers the lead weakness as soon as possible with Juggernaut upgrade. Meanwhile, the bottom path, you need Crossbow Master to pop leads. Middle path is also the same. Actually, look, when I mean of pop leads, I mean of like pop leads in a single shot. Middle path requires Plasma Monkey Fan Club, and I don't think much players will be going for that. But yeah, that's the first episode of CobrasBloonsMod demonstrations. Next time, I will talk about the Boomerang Monkey. And that is all for now. And yes, to the people who got this far in the video, I'm aware of the crooked Boomerang Monkey throwing angle. And I agree, it's terrible. But by the next video I will have that boomerang angle fixed. I'll be playing a lot of Bloons D6 to make sure I get the angle just right. So, the Boomerang Monkey will have an easier time hitting balloons, while still keeping the factor of being able to hit balloons around corners. Alright. I'll see you guys around next time for the Boomerang Monkey.